We are backstage in Brooklyn. The first UFC ESPN card has just wrapped up. We just spoke a moment ago. You said you really couldn't be any happier with how ESPN has been since we've signed the deal. But overall, seeing it come to life tonight, what was that like for you?
It was awesome. You know, this is something, like I said before, if you're in the sports business, whether you're an athlete, whether you're, you know, what you do for a living, what everybody does here, ESPN's it, man. It's the pinnacle in sports. It's where you want to be, and we killed it here tonight. It was a super successful show. It was the biggest event they've ever done on ESPN Plus by a long shot. They're happy, we're happy, and it's only going to get better from here on out. Tonight was our first night working together.
Yeah.
So.
And the main event on ESPN television was Cowboy versus Alexander Hernandez. I mean, you can't really ask for a better fight for people who have maybe never seen the sport before to be on ESPN the very first time. An incredible performance by Cowboy, sort of a vintage WEC-like guy. What did you think of his overall performance?
Yeah, no, he looked incredible. He got rocked early in the fight as soon as the fight started, shook it off, walked right through it, and, you know, completely picked him apart, hit him with big shots, hit him with big combinations. Cowboy looked awesome.
Yeah. A hard left turn here. Greg Hardy made his UFC debut among some controversy, gets into the octagon and then throws an illegal knee. I did ask him if he had a rules meeting before. He said, yeah, I wasn't realizing what I was doing in the heat of the moment. It's got to be disappointing to see an outcome like that, right?
Listen, two things I hate: disqualifications and draws. And I'm not a big fan of split decisions either, but they happen, you know? These are the types of things that happen in fighting. One thing you did see tonight is that this guy's for real. This guy can actually compete in the UFC. He fought a guy with 13 fights. He has 3. Nobody gets an easy pass. Nobody gets to walk through anybody in the UFC. We throw the kitchen sink at you when you come here. We find out if you belong here or if you don't. You know, he made a big rookie mistake tonight, and he paid for it. He got the first L.
And you said we will see him in the UFC again, but what do you say to him when you see him? I mean, how do you handle the situation?
Listen, congratulations. You were in your first fight tonight. You were in a real fight tonight. You weren't in a show where you come in and you walk through a guy and you knock him out in 44 seconds. You were in a fight tonight with a real tough dude who came to beat you, and now he needs to know what he needs to go back and work on. He needs to, you know, he needs to grow as a fighter, and he needs to learn.
We go from that main event to a 34-second main event between Henry Cejudo and TJ Dillishaw. A little bit of controversy in terms of the stoppage. Some people thought it was a bit too early. You were one of them? Yeah,
I thought the fight was stopped early. You have 2 world champions. You have 2 of the best guys in the world in a super fight. Let them win or let them lose.
Right.
Listen, I'm not taking anything away from Cejudo. Cejudo looked damn good tonight, man. He went in there and did what he needed to do. He jumped on TJ. He busted him up early, and you know, he went after it.
Yeah, and you know I will be remiss if I don't ask you this in this interview. Just the status of the flyweight division. There are fights on future cards in the next coming months. I know that you said we'll see Saturday night. You told me earlier that doesn't mean we'll have a decision, but you've got to be happy with what you saw from the division tonight, correct?
Yeah, I mean, Cejudo won, you know, in a super fight, and yeah, I don't have the answer to that question yet. I said we'll see what happens after Saturday. I didn't say I'll have a decision on Saturday.
All right, fair enough. Well, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. It was a great card here in Brooklyn. Really exciting first fight week with ESPN. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks.